Alright, today we are reacting to DoorDash Girl Lied About Everything by Ominence.
So DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my sexual assault.
Like, why
They
she
have my
looking
money
like
in that
that,
account.
bro?
I was working. I was literally working, and they deactivated me.
You guys remember the viral DoorDash girl from about a month ago who claimed to be essayed while doing a delivery? She said,
I just want to go ahead and say, when I first seen that, already as SA was crazy because even in the video she posted, my dog was unconscious. So I mean, I'm just trying to figure out where the assault was, but you know
that as she walked up to the door to make the delivery as instructed by the person ordering food, she noticed that the guy was on the couch, seemingly passed out while he had his pants down to his ankles. Now in the video, it stated that a man named Austin orders DoorDash, selects the option to have the order left at the door, sees his DoorDasher, me, has a female name, falls asleep on the couch with his pants down and the door wide open. Now where the woman messed up is not only did she put his name out there, but she also put his address and what his home looked like. Also the fact that he was naked, she displayed that online, and that's wrong. And not just wrong from a moral standpoint, but literally illegal. And that's why today she is locked up somewhere, because she has recently been arrested after getting hit with two felony charges: unlawful surveillance and dissemination of surveillance images. Now reports say that according to authorities, the woman's story did not align with the evidence, while what began as a call for justice has escalated to a criminal case. Internet users are still grappling to understand the twist in this story. It goes on to say, according to the police account, the suspect, a 23-year-old woman named Levi Rose Henderson, visited a customer's address on October 12th to deliver food in a contactless drop-off manner. However, she proceeded to open the closed entrance door and went inside. She found the customer asleep on the couch, wearing his trousers down. She recorded the incident, but later posted the blurred footage of the act on TikTok, claiming she was sexually assaulted. Now, this would contradict everything that she said in the beginning, and a lot of us, myself included, fell for the okie doke. Hell, I remember there was a video where somebody actually went to the guy's house and then they took pictures of the house and there was no ring camera there. But the report and the accounts from the officers are saying otherwise. However, footage from the ring camera revealed that the customer did not invite her inside. The detectives later determined that he was not intentionally exposing himself, nor was there any evidence of sex.
Okay, so wait. So you're telling me she said all that and said that the door was already open, this man had fallen asleep, in quotations, left the door open with all his job out, right? And she just neglected the fact that there was a ring camera right there just recording the whole thing. I'm just trying to figure out why she would even try to lie about it. Like, it just ain't adding up.
Assault. On November 10th, she was arrested for charges related to 2 Class E felonies: unlawful surveillance, as well as the dissemination of unlawful surveillance images. That just means distributing the images that were taken during the unlawful surveillance, so the video online. Now, these aren't just some light charges that are like community service slap on the wrist. Each of these charges,
for a first offense, it most definitely could be
4 years of prison tied to them, which I ain't gonna lie, that,
like, as someone who has dealt with the legal system to an extent, you feel me? Like, a lot of times your first offense, and like even if it is a felony, like they'll drop it down if it's like, you know, other circumstances. Plus she's a woman, it's her first charge that we know of, so I highly doubt she'll actually get convicted of both of those felonies, if even one of them.
Point, I'm snitching. It don't even matter if it's something snitch worthy. I'm finding something to snitch on. 8 years in prison is absolutely insane. Now, if you got your bingo cards out, the report states that she did illegally enter this man's dwelling and take pictures of him while he was in a vulnerable state. So if you had your money down for she did a B&E and broke into his house, then hey, you get the money. Now I'll have to wait and see if the ring camera footage actually does come out, if she actually gets hit with these charges. But I believe that there are 2 things about this situation that are extremely interesting. The ability to galvanize the internet about your story, about your plight, about your issue is extremely powerful. I know a lot of people gravitated towards this story for a lot of the reasons why a lot of people would gather towards this story. Young white girl, damsel in distress, playing on the heartstrings of victims victims in the past. I think my biggest takeaway from this situation is that there is a continuous misinformation and disinformation loop that exists on the internet. Now, as it seems right now, she herself is the start of the disinformation loop, but at this point in 2025, all we have to live off of are videos. We can't take words seriously anymore, and even those videos can be, corrupted and distorted. Now look, I'm not saying that I'm above the madness. I too jump into the fire like the rest of the crowd, but throughout this whole cycle, it was interesting seeing how many people were ready to jump out on a ledge, put out a cropped image, say that something that existed that actually didn't exist existed, in order to spin their narrative about this young girl and her situation. The sad part about it is it's actually so easy to be deceived on this internet, and it's even more harder to find the truth. This generation is supposed to have access to information.
That is like so true. Like when it first happened, I didn't want to like jump and be like, oh no, she a victim. But at the same time, like I wouldn't ever be like, oh no, he ain't did nothing wrong. Like you really gotta wait and see what facts could come out, because when it first happens, like anybody could just be faking something for the internet. You never know nowadays. And she was going so hard trying to play the victim, where I mean, it just gave off the feeling like, yeah, something ain't right here,
Information fast, but that doesn't always mean that it's good. And it also doesn't help when even the creator themselves is saying stuff that has holes in it, flaws in it, doesn't line up with this, that, and the third story. It makes it to where even in the follow-up videos, you have to question what they're saying.
I have obtained irrefutable proof that the door was already wide open when I arrived to the customer's house. But due to its importance, I cannot post that proof at this time.
Now, I know everybody's looking to jump in.
Okay. Due to its importance. But you uploaded this man's whole meat on TikTok. You know what?
Pile on this woman, and hey, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you, rightfully so, because in a lot of her videos she does say some things that are out of pocket and crazy.
I was kicked out of this apartment 6 months ago. Nobody is currently living in it. How did I get in? That's a secret I'll never tell.
I just want to say that a fucking MILF just dropped off my McDonald's. Thank you, Sue. You have my address. Come back sometime. Come back when your shift's over.
Now about this situation, whether you're on the winning side, the losing side, or you just stay
neutral, what you was talking about.
What's very interesting to me is that there was a lot of misinformation and disinformation about the situation. I saw a bunch of random tweets popping up on the timeline claiming that they knew the guy in the house and that he does have a Ring doorbell camera, and that they knew to talk to the guy. They talked to the actual man in question. And let's not forget about the slew of videos that came out surrounding the situation, depicting there being some sort of a Ring camera, doorbell, door knock-in type situation going on.
There is Ring footage from the DoorDash video. Watch. Okay, so if you somehow haven't heard the news by now, allegedly people on the internet claim that the man on his couch in his own house has Ring camera footage of the whole situation going on, which has people outraged.
That's AI.
But
that's
probably
AI.
the craziest thing about this whole situation is everybody keeps flip-flopping on whose side they're actually on. Personally, I did the same thing. First I was defending her, then I wasn't, then I was again, and I'm just all over the place. Now, I've done a lot of research about this, and I actually couldn't find the footage anywhere or the man talking about where the footage is. Now, this could just be another thing where the internet just spreads rumors for attention, but the DoorDash girl hasn't uploaded for a week on her page, which has people questioning what's going on with her.
I just think that it's interesting to note that people are so invested in this situation, they're willing to go so far to prove their point that they're even generating Sora fake AI videos to prove that this girl broke into the house.
Leave the food by the door. No, I'm going in.
Like, gang.
I am the victim! I am the victim! I am the victim!
It gets to a point. I see this is too far. This is too much. Okay? Leave
the food on the door?
Oh, we're cooked.
Nah, I'm going in now.
Nah, we're cooked for sure.
I am the victim! I am the victim!
These aren't even good AI videos.
That's
now,
what I'm saying, bro.
I,
it's just
as
troll.
trained AI
it's just
viewers
troll.
on this channel, which I've got to do more AI videos, because every time I text my mom, she like falls for some sort of AI.
I'm so glad I ain't gotta deal with it.
It's a process, chat. It's a process. You've got to hold the hand of the elderly, because people are falling for this actual content. They are thinking that this is.
Sometimes it gets to a point where the elderly, y'all gotta just try your best to stay off the internet at this point, because this shit is running rampant. Every time I go on Instagram or any social media, AI.
Real. And whether it turns out to be the actual depiction or not the depiction, the question is, why are people so ready to put this disinformation and misinformation out there in order to get a win in the conversation? As stuff started to come out, I felt like I was almost in a CIA Black Mirror episode with how much to bat people were going for these different individuals. And on the flip side of the AI videos that were in defense of the man who was naked on the couch, there was also disinformation and misinformation put out in an attempt to protect the woman in this situation who claimed she was the SA victim.
Again, I can't say for certain if that is true or not. Now here's a picture of Austin and what he looks like. And yes, I did blur out somebody who was with him because that is not right to put her in the picture. But I did end up finding his Facebook, and it was from the same town that he is in, and everything tracks. Now, I did end up finding his Twitter as well, and he has not posted anything on the whole situation.
Much time on their hands.
Lastly, Casey had said that there was a case on Austin. And as you can see, there was a case with Austin. I blurred out his last name because I don't want to dox anybody, but he did have a case for disorderly conduct. Now, looking more into the case, you can actually see that he was in trouble for indecent exposure, but since it was his first time, it got moved down to disorderly conduct.
And see, this is where I step out of the conversation. I don't know what type of day and age we're in, but the stuff that I'm seeing that people are willing to believe disinformation, misinformation, AI videos, fake content, etc., in order to prove their point, to get their shit off, is really, really strange and unbelievable. I get it. You get some sort of instant gratification in the moment of being on the right side of history, but I promise you, there is no scorecard for Chatter 707. There's no scorecard for X creator when it comes to who's right or who's wrong on these different things. And ultimately, we have to check, and this is just another time, and I'm not saying that I'm not like totally blameless in this conversation, but this is another time where we have to check what we are putting out there, check what's being pushed to the forefront. I bring up those obviously bad AI videos in this conversation because I saw big TikTok creators actually put that shit on their page and pose it as real video. Forget if they get vindicated in December or whatever. That's not right. Like, that's just not right at all. And I know that people will be ready to jump on the bandwagon and kind of poo-poo on her for all the things that she's done in this situation.
Anybody posting that AI slop, I ain't gonna lie, like, I just straight up ignore them. Like, I'm not finna sit here and have to try to figure out what's AI, what's not. If I see a sign you posting AI, like, that's not you. I'm not finna sit there and why he talking about big creators and stuff. Like, come on now, posting that as if it's real.
Potential lies that she's told, etc. But I will
especially
say
at this point, like, it's low key still somewhat like easy to tell for the majority of videos. I do see some where it's like kind of hard to tell, but now posting obviously fake vids like that, trying to portray it as real is kind of crazy, especially pertaining to a serious legal situation. But